In this video, I'm going to be talking about the materials that we're going to use to teach Romeo and Juliet. In the 1500s in England, when Shakespeare was writing, they spoke what we call early modern English. And even though it is a form of English, it doesn't sound much like what we speak now. And it's so different, in fact, that we use a side-by-side original version to modernized version text to teach it. And so I'm going to show you what that looks like now. Okay. So the website that we use, it is the SparkNotes website, but it is the version that they post on their website is called No Fear Shakespeare. And it's going to load eventually. Yes. Okay. So it looks kind of like this. All right. And then if you scroll down, you can see kind of they have tabs. There's a table of contents there. And if you scroll down, you can see what I was talking about there. You've got the original text on the left and the modern text on the right. And what I've done here is I have copied and pasted both of those into a Google slide so I can take it line by line and show you how this works, okay? So again, Shakespeare version on the left, modern version on the right, all right? So first, I'm going to read through the modern version because it's better for you to have the whole picture of what they're telling you in your head as we go through it. In the beautiful city of Verona, where our story takes place, a long-standing hatred between two families erupts into new violence, and citizens stain their hands with the blood of their fellow citizens. Two unlucky children of these enemy families become lovers and commit suicide. Their unfortunate deaths put an end to their parents' feud. For the next 2 hours, we will watch the story of their doomed love and their parents' anger, which nothing but the children's deaths could stop. If you listen to us patiently, we'll make up for everything we've left out in this prologue on stage, okay? And remember, this is something that somebody walked out onto the stage and presented to the audience directly, okay? So let's look at it kind of line by line. I'm going to take you through and show you kind of the keyword connections here on how they translated that. So two households, both alike in dignity. They just used two families there. The only thing I would have added in my modernized version here is the both alike in dignity part. The Montagues, that is Romeo's family, and the Capulets, that is Juliet's family, they are noble families. So they're important. They're high up in the social class. They rub shoulders with the prince. They're important families. So both alike in dignity is what that means. In fair Verona, where we lay our scene, that one's pretty straightforward, and they opened their translation with that. In the beautiful city of Verona, where our story takes place, where we lay our scene. Verona, by the way, is in Italy. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny. So ancient grudge, they used a long-standing hatred for that, and break to new mutiny, they used erupts into new violence. So it's a long-standing grudge. These families have hated each other for a long time, and I'll tell you right now, we never learn how this started. We just know they hate each other. But it's been renewed. They're fighting again, and everybody's kind of mad about it because civil blood, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean, they're not talking about the blood is polite and the hands are polite. Civil blood and civil hands refer to civilian blood and civilian hands. So that's why in the translation it says citizens stain their hands with the blood of their fellow citizens. They're dragging in the average Joe in the streets into it's kind of like gang violence, and it's depicted that way a little bit in the Baz Luhrmann film adaptation. Okay, so the next line, from forth the fatal loins of these two foes. This one's pretty straightforward. Two unlucky children. Unlucky children refers back to fatal loins of these enemy families, two foes. A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life. So become lovers, commit suicide. That one's pretty easy to understand. Whose misadventured piteous overthrows. That one, they kind of wrapped up all of those two adjectives. Piteous overthrows. Doth with their death bury their parents' strife. So put an end to their parents' feud. With their death is what buries their parents' strife, ends the feud. The fearful passage of their death-marked love. So they summarize that pretty simply into their doomed love, their death-marked love. and the continuance of their parents' rage and their parents' anger, which but their children's end not could remove. And that sounds like it's saying even their children's death couldn't remove it in the early modern English version. That's not how it's translated. What that actually means is which nothing but the children's deaths could stop. That was the only thing that was going to be able to stop this feud. Is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage. So for the next 2 hours, we will watch, because we are an audience, right? Traffic of our stage. So the traffic being the actors and actresses' feet coming across the stage. The which, if you with patient ears attend, so if you listen to us patiently, what here shall miss will make up for everything we've left out in this prologue. So what we're missing here in this prologue, telling you, it says whatever we've left out in the prologue will make up for it on stage. So our toil shall strive to mend is the on stage part. Our toil as actors and actresses working hard to show you how this story goes. So what I'm going to show you now to wrap up this video is a quick clip from Shakespeare in Love. It's a movie from 1998, and it's just a really good visual very quickly of a chorus person coming out and delivering this speech. This movie won a lot of awards for its setting and its costumes. They did a really good job of depicting life in England in the late 1500s. And so this is just, they do some really good images as he's speaking. Note what it looks like from his perspective, because they'll pan out and you'll see all the different levels of the Globe Theater. If you've done the Globe Theater assignment already, you know that it's a round theater and it has multiple levels, and you're going to see people down on the floor in the pit, and those were the cheapest seats. The seats got more expensive as you got up into the levels, the higher levels, which is ironic to us because when we go to a play or a concert, we pay a lot of money to get up close to the stage on the floor so we can see, but it was the opposite back then. The pit, the bottom part was like the cheaper part, but this is a really good visual for this. Now, keep in mind this character struggles with a stutter, so he's trying to overcome it. So at first it looks like he's not going to be able to get it out, but he does. He has that triumphant moment, and these just have some really good images to kind of put in your head of what this looks like. Got the pit down there, all the different levels.
Sir, two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our
Get a good
seed.
idea of what the stage looks like.
From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of scarfless lovers take their life, whose misadventured, piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife. You, patient ears attend, but ye shall miss. Our toil shall strive to end.
Okay, so that is the last thing I wanted to show you in this video. I'll be making another video to go over rhyme and meter. This prologue is written in iambic pentameter, and that is what I will be showing you next. If you have any questions about this video or anything I went over in it, feel free to email me or Miss Pride or Miss Knowlton, and we can talk about whatever questions you have. Bye, guys.